This was the old Yankee Stadium, not the new one. So I was like, he's like, you want to talk about ghosts? I got ghosts in me. I got ghosts following me. I am a ghost. So he is a ghost, evidently. So, I told him we went on this trip. There were spirits, and so he apparently is followed by ghosts. He is a ghost. I don't know. So anyway, and then he's like, you should have went to Texas, man. You made a big mistake. You should have went to Texas. Why didn't you go to Texas? And I'm like, well, we were driving to the East Coast. Texas is a little out of the way. Texas is a special place, man. Special place. I'm like, all right. So he's like, what do you do? He says to my girlfriend, and who we barely met. He barely met her. And so she's like, well, I design clothes, and right now I'm working as a salesperson in a clothing store. He's like, oh, all right. Well, listen, you two be good. So he's like, I got an early call. Nikki, nice talking to you. And he grabbed me by the head, mwah, and he kissed me. And then he walked away. And my girlfriend was like, this is the guy you've been hanging out with? Because she didn't know who he was. She didn't, doesn't care. I'm like, yeah, like, you've been hanging out with this guy. And I'm like, yeah, Gary Busey. It's Gary Busey. Fucking Point Break. It's Gary Busey. And so she's like, that's fantastic. So she broke up with me 2 weeks later. I don't want to blame Gary Busey, but yeah, I think she was like, look, dude, you could have been with me, who I don't even know why I'm with you. I gave her a reason to think, why the fuck am I with this guy? Look at him. And he would rather hang out with this lunatic who was dead for 12 minutes and pops off to the bathroom every 5 minutes to do something. And he'd rather be with that guy than me? So, yeah. So I blame Gary Busey. Not me. It wasn't my fault. Anyway, so he's now Gary Busey pet judge. That's what he's doing now. And since then, he did a bunch of other movies. He's great in The Firm. He's been, he's Gary Busey. He's nuts. And he's gone crazier, since all this stuff. And he went through rehab. He had, some cocaine problems in the mid-'90s. Went through a couple of divorces. He's got some kids. His son, Jake Busey, I interviewed him. He was on my radio show a few years ago to promote a movie. And, and he's still working. He's on the Pet Judge show. He's been on a bunch of reality shows. He was on The Apprentice a few times, The Celebrity Apprentice. He was in Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew. He's now basically, now he's anachronism man. He comes up with, Gary Busey-isms. He's basically become he's embraced this sort of crazy ass character that everybody thinks he is. And, I'm sure that a lot of it is an act because it sells things and people like to watch. But he really is, he's nuts. He's pretty crazy. And to sum it all up, like I said, I had Jake Busey on my show in the studio to interview him. He was in a movie with William Catt. They were in a movie together, Greatest American Hero, Carrie. And the interview went really well. And during a commercial break, I went to a commercial break. I said, hey, I just want to mention to you that back in 1992, I met your dad while he was shooting a movie here. And for some reason, he liked me, and we hung out every night for about a week. And Jake Busey, his son, just kind of went, I'm sorry, man. And that's it. So I don't regret it. I had a great time. For a little while, I had a hot girlfriend. So the fall of 1992 was pretty cool. So he was here shooting that movie, and the movie ended up being crappy, and the mustache is fake. So I've not seen Gary Busey since then. I did have his number in L.A. for a while. We talked a couple of times, I think. But anyway, there's more to the story. It goes on because we spent a lot of nights just hanging out. There are other things that happened. And whatever you think it would be like to hang out with Gary Busey for 7 nights in a row, think that, multiply it by about 20. Imagine he's this close to your fucking face. And you're kind of close to what it's like to hang out with Gary Busey. So anyway, So I wanted to tell the Gary Busey story. I was watching Silver Bullet last night, and I was like, you know what? I should probably pop a video on my YouTube channel about Gary Busey. So there you go. Gary Busey rules. Hey, I'm going to see a movie called Benedetta tonight. I'll give you a full review video on my YouTube channel here. So like the YouTube channel. Benedetta is Paul Verhoeven's latest movie. He directed Basic Instinct, Total Recall, RoboCop, Showgirls. So I expect a lot of subtlety. And I will say this, it's about lesbian nuns, and it features a Virgin Mary dildo. So anyway, I'll review that tomorrow. All right, thanks.